Hi guys, Scott Ludwig with the Fitness Circuit and Ignite Fitness Camps. Here to answer a few more questions of the Ask Scott series that we did. It would be funny if we were asking, if you asked somebody else. But good thing you asked me, and I'll answer those questions that you did ask me. So one of them had to do with exercise and arthritis, particularly gout and that sort of thing. And I had to do a little bit of research because I know some about it, some stuff about it, but I wanted to be able to answer the question as well as I could. So the first thing that came to mind was that there are certain physical conditions that can lead to it, at least they're related to. And that has to do with diabetes and cardiovascular disease and that sort of thing, which I didn't realize were actually can be correlated with. And so just the fact that you're exercising is a great way to keep it away or lessen the attacks of it. So exercise in and of itself is beneficial for arthritis, for gout in particular. Now if there are particular movements, you know, one of the most notable symptoms of gout is like gout big toe. It's very painful in the toes. And so if there are certain exercises that are really bugging you while doing that, we just ask that you obviously bring it to the trainer's attention so that they can give you a different exercise, just like we would with anyone else for a variety of injuries or ailments that they've had for a while. On the nutrition side, you want to avoid the foods that would cause a higher level of uric acid, which is the cause of, or one of the causes of the problem. And just a quick list of those: alcoholic beverages, your canned meats, like fishes rather, like anchovies, sardines, organ meats, liver, kidneys, game meats happen to be causing a high uric acid effect. Legumes, unfortunately, they're good for you, but in this case, not good for someone with gout. Mushrooms, spinach, asparagus, cauliflower. Things that are good for you to eat, which can actually not only potentially lower the amount of uric acid in the body, but also there are some evidence with having more potassium in your body can help balance it out. But your red-blue berries, like your blueberries, which we have a lot of at the front desk for you guys right now, your dark red cherries and that sort of thing are all good. Cherries, strawberries, blueberries, kale, cabbage, anything that red, blue, purple has an item in it that is actually beneficial to those, for everybody, but particularly those with gout. So avoiding some of the things that are going to be potentially offensive, and also having more of the foods that can lower the uric acid, as well as the whole potassium thing also has to do with, there's some evidence that shows people who may have had or been exposed to lead and have lead poisoning, or at one point have had it, that their system can be thrown off and could lead to gout, and it has to do with the potassium levels. But there are ways to check for heavy metals and some heavy metal detoxification that may help you. So kind of a little bit more of a difficult situation for those with it, but on the nutrition side, avoid the foods that can offend it, have more that can actually help it, and the exercise is beneficial. And just raise your hand if there's anything that's particularly hurting you, if you happen to have an attack at that moment or a flare-up, and we'll give you something different that hopefully won't bother it at all. One of the other questions that we had to do with the variety of foods, and if it mattered if you change up your foods a lot, or is it okay if you're having the same thing for breakfast day in and day out, or possibly even other meals. Of course, if you're choosing the same foods over and over again that are healthy foods, that's better than, possibly better than a variety of bad foods for you. But some of the things to be aware of. First off is that every food has a unique profile of nutrients in it. So the more variety you have in your diet, just by default, the more variety of nutrients you have. And so maybe there's one or two things in your diet that contain a particular, let's say, copper or something to that effect. But really it's not present anywhere else, and it's not really being offered to you in the right amounts. Then day in and day out, if you're a little bit deficient in that on a daily basis, it's going to add up until you have a true deficiency in that particular item. So by having a variety of foods, you get a little bit of these nutrients, a little bit of that. It's harder to be deficient in any vitamin or mineral with a larger variety of food. The other thing is, particularly with non-organic stuff. Certain foods from certain farms over and over again, they use a particular pesticide. So there's a chance if you have the same broccoli from farm A over and over and over again, that that particular chemical could build up larger than if you had a variety of stuff from different farms. So from a nutrient standpoint, it's definitely better for variety, and from a chemical standpoint, the pesticides and stuff, the non-organic foods are being exposed to, even having a variety of where you get those items is beneficial to you. The other part of that question had to do with different sources of protein, and do they have different effects on the body. There are a variety of reasons that different proteins can be better or not as good for you, but the main thing is that there's non-complete and complete protein. So all the vegetable proteins that we know of, sans soy, is missing an amino acid or two, and your body can't bank and hold on to some of those amino acids until there's another influx of protein with some amino acids and make a complete protein. All that means is your body cannot use the protein from, say, a vegetable source, say spinach, or the protein that's in broccoli. It cannot by itself, it cannot be used by the body. That one or two missing items is like the key doesn't fit the lock. So this is why vegetarians have to be particular about what food combinations they create in their meals, so that the missing amino acid or two in that one protein is then complemented with the other food. So if you can get more complete proteins in your diet, which is soy from a vegetarian standpoint, your dairy products are complete proteins, and of course your meats, your animal meats, are complete proteins. So those ones are being used by the body as they are for the most part. The vegetable ones are good for you. You just, if you're going to have vegetables as a source of protein and exclude meat, which is fine, just make sure you're doing it in combos. And there's various sources on the internet that you can look for that, combining wheat and tomatoes, rice and beans. These sort of things actually complement each other and make a complete profile of the amino acids needed for our bodies to use it. So I hope those answered your questions. And also, please feel free. This subject, if you will, is not closed. We would love to get more questions from everybody. We'll be answering them as we get them. So feel free to email in more questions to us, and I'll do my best and answer them for you. In the meanwhile, have a great day. We'll see you soon.